My name is Mike, and for years, I thought my life was a normal one. I had a loving family, a job I enjoyed, and a future I was excited about. But I made one big mistake. I trusted my sister. I had no idea that her jealousy would lead to my downfall, and that she would do something so terrible that it would change my life forever. I also didn't know that my life's biggest mistake would become the reason for my success. This is the story of how I became a millionaire behind bars. I was a successful architect, and my life was going great. I was making good money, and I had just bought my own apartment. My family was proud of me, especially my parents. My sister, Sophia, was a different story. She was a brilliant artist, but she never seemed to get the recognition she deserved. She was always angry about it. She would often say, "It's not fair, Mike. You have everything, and I have nothing." I always tried to help her. I bought her a new studio, I helped her with her art shows, and I even introduced her to some of my clients. But she always saw me as a rival, not a friend. She was obsessed with my success, and she would always ask me about my income, my clients, and my investments. It made me a little uncomfortable, but I never thought she would do anything to hurt me. I was wrong. One day, I got a call from the police. They said there was a complaint against me for stealing a large amount of money from one of my clients. It was a lie. I had never stolen anything in my life. The police came to my office and found some of the money hidden in my desk. They also found some documents with my signature on them. It was a setup. I knew it. But I couldn't prove it. I was arrested and put in jail. My parents came to visit me, and they were heartbroken. They said they believed me, but they didn't know what was happening. Sophia came to visit me, and she had a smug look on her face. "I'm so sorry, Mike," she said, with a fake look of sadness. "I hope you get what you deserve." I looked at her and knew that she was the one who had framed me. She had done it out of jealousy, out of anger. She had ruined my life to get what she wanted. I was convicted and sent to prison. My life was over. I had lost my job, my family, and my freedom. I was a broken man. But in that moment, I knew that I had to fight back. My sister had taken everything from me, but she didn't know that she had also given me a new life. A life where I would find my true self, and a life where I would get my revenge. Prison isn't just a place. It's an idea. An idea that you are nothing. That you are powerless. But I wasn't just an inmate. I was an architect. I was a builder. And I was about to build a life for myself that my sister could never have imagined. My first few months in prison were a blur. The noise, the cold, the constant fear, it was a world I never knew existed. But I couldn't just sit and wait for my time to be over. I had to do something. So, I started to use my mind. I started to draw. I started drawing blueprints for a new kind of prison. A place that wasn't just a cage, but a place that helped people. I designed a new kind of cell, a new kind of community. I showed my drawings to the guards, and they were impressed. They told me that I had a unique talent. They started giving me extra time to draw, and I started to get a reputation. I also started to help the other prisoners. I would help them design new businesses, new homes, and new lives. I was building a reputation, not as an inmate, but as a builder. But my biggest project was still a secret. I had a friend, a lawyer, who was still trying to prove my innocence. One day, he came to see me, and I showed him my drawings. He was so impressed that he started to sell them. He sold my blueprints to a company that wanted to build a new kind of housing for people who were leaving prison. He sold my ideas to a company that wanted to build new communities. He sold my drawings to an investor who wanted to build a new kind of city. My friend came to see me, and he had a big smile on his face. "Mike," he said, "you're not just a prisoner anymore. You're a millionaire. Your designs are selling for millions of dollars." I couldn't believe it. I was in prison, but I was living a life that was better than anything my sister could have imagined. I was building a new life, a new future, a new world. And my sister had no idea. A few days later, I got a call from my sister. She was so happy. "Mike," she said, "I have a big promotion. I'm going to be the new head of my company's design department. I'm going to be rich." I could hear the pride in her voice. She had no idea that I was already a millionaire. "That's great, Sophia," I said. "I'm happy for you." "Yeah," she said. "I told you I was going to be successful. I told you that I was better than you. I told you that you were a failure." I just smiled. She had no idea that I was sitting on a gold mine. She had no idea that her jealousy and betrayal had led to my success. She had no idea that my revenge was already in motion. I had a new life. I had a new future. And I was about to get my revenge. My sister's words were meant to break me, but they didn't. They gave me a new purpose. She thought I was just a prisoner, but I was building a new life for myself, a life where I was a millionaire. This is the story of how my revenge changed my life forever. The day I got out of prison, a lawyer was waiting for me. He handed me a suit and a new phone. "Everything is ready, Mike," he said. I put on the suit and looked at myself in the mirror. I was no longer an inmate, I was a new person. My sister, Sophia, was waiting outside for me. She had a cold smile on her face. "I'm so sorry, Mike," she said, but her voice had no emotion. "I hope you have a good life now." I looked at her, and I didn't feel angry. I just felt calm. I had a new purpose, and I was about to get my revenge. I told her I was going to a cafe for a cup of coffee. She was surprised but agreed. She had no idea what was about to happen. We walked into the cafe, and my friend was already there. He was sitting at a table, with a beautiful woman beside him. He stood up and hugged me. "I'm so glad you're out, Mike," he said. "This is my partner, and we have a surprise for you." He handed me a small piece of paper. It was a check. The check was for $2.5 million. My sister's face was in complete shock. "What is this?" she asked. "What is going on?" I looked at her, and I smiled. "I'm a millionaire, Sophia," I said. "I'm the new head of my company's design department, and I'm a partner in a new business. I'm a millionaire, and you, my dear sister, are just a nobody." Tears streamed down her face. But how?" she asked. I looked at her and said, "You framed me, but I used my skills to design a new kind of prison. I sold my ideas for millions of dollars. You thought you were winning, but you were the one who lost." I looked at her with a calm, happy expression. She had lost everything because of her own greed. She had lost me, our family, and her future. I walked away from my sister and my old life. I had everything I wanted. My true family, my new friends, and a new life. My parents were there for me, and they were so proud of me. I, on the other hand, had found a new life, a new purpose, and a new family. I learned that true wealth is not in your bank account, it's in your character. My sister had won, but she had nothing. I had lost, but I had everything. So, that's my story. It's a reminder that true loyalty is not just about blood. It's about a man who would never leave you, even when everyone else does. Have you ever had to choose between your blood family and your chosen family? What did you learn? Share your stories in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to hear more real-life lessons. Thank you for listening.